The last key point about the business plan is the financials, which I do know trip up a lot of people. And that may be an area where you need help. The biggest things that you want to be able to identify in your financials are what are your kind of core metrics. So for example, if we're starting a corner shop, how long is it going to take till we get towards profitability? So a lot of times what I've heard is like the rule of thumb with a restaurant is that within the first year you want to get to profitability. So if we need to raise $1 million up front, and half of that $1 million is going to go into building out the restaurant, and then $500,000 is going to go to pay for the operations for the first year. We want to make sure that by the end of that first year we're profitable, and then out of the profits we're going to pay back through dividends to those investors. Hopefully over the next 3-4 years they make their money back, and then they're just getting a profit dividend going on forward from there, and you're making money as the owner of that business as well. The most important thing about your financials, especially if you don't have much experience with Excel or ever doing them before, what you have to know, even if you're not very technical or not very math-oriented or not oriented towards financials, is you have to be able to explain the basic assumptions that drive your financial model. So you can get help with somebody putting this together. And I know there are lots of folks that are business plan consultants and will happily take your money to help put together a business plan. And we did that in our last consulting business. But the mistake that we would often find our clients doing is that they would say, I'm not really good at the financial stuff. I'm just good at describing the business. You guys put together the financial model. Just give it to me and I'll show it to potential investors, but just make sure the numbers are big enough and sexy enough. And we actually wouldn't do that. Because if, as the business owner, you don't understand the assumptions, the financial drivers that lead to the success of your business, and you can't talk about them, then that financial model is not worth any good. It's not going to help you operate the business. It's not going to help you recruit investment. And so again, the key thing with any financial model is, what are the key things that you're trying to get to? What are the key things you're trying to accomplish? Are we making a website that needs to get to 1 million visitors, and then when it does, we can sell advertising revenue? Well, then in your financial model, you should have assumptions like traffic. When we get this amount of traffic, we'll get this amount of page views. When we get this amount of page views, we'll get this amount of advertising income. And you want to have assumption-based financial models that help you do that. So we'll provide templates that will get you started in that process, but you want to be able to, with your financial model, be able to talk about all of the key drivers and components of that business. So let's make this a real-life example. Who here has got some nerves or is worried about creating a financial model for their business? Right here? Would you mind sharing what's your business? What's area is your business going to be about?
Well, I'm a hairstylist.
Okay.
So I work freelance.
And what's your name?
Nikki.
Nikki, nice to meet you.
So I work freelance. I have private clients, and then I do photo shoots. So to find a way to explain how I charge for my private services, how that becomes profitable.
Okay. And so you're looking for your hairstyling business. Do you want to create a new salon? Is that what you're looking at doing? All right. And so you're potentially going to need money up front to then open up the salon. How much money overall do you think you would need to open up a salon and do it the way you'd want to?
To do it the way I really like
To do it the way you'd really like to.
dreaming,
Your dream salon.
I'd say
Okay,
$100,000.
$100,000. All right. So what you're going to do, there's the difference. First of all, there's the use of funds. Okay, so there's the $100,000. And what your financial model is going to have is it's going to have the list of all your expenses for the first year, okay? And then it's going to have where your revenue is going to come from, right? And so in your case, our goal, what we're getting towards, is profitability. That's our goal with you. This is a lifestyle business, not a liquidity business. We want to get you to the place where you're making a profit as soon as possible that can sustain your life, and if somebody gives you $100,000, you can get them that money back, right? So what are going to be the main expenses? It's going to be your lease, it's going to be your TI, your tenant improvement, it's going to be your supplies, and it's going to be labor. That's it. Those are your big 4 components. So what you're going to have in your financial model is you're going to have those laid out, and probably in the first month or first 2 months, there's going to be a big outlay of cash because you're going to have to do your TI and tenant improvement. You're going to know what your rent is going forward. You'll be able to estimate your labor. You're probably not going to pay yourself for a while, but you're going to need some other hairstylists there helping you out. You're going to be able to estimate supplies. You're going to be able to estimate marketing. And then the top of your financial model, you're going to have that revenue line, right? And the revenue line is going to say how much money you're making a month. Where is that going to come from?
It comes from retail and service.
Got it. So people are going to pay you money for the products, and they're going to pay you money for the service. And then, so the drivers are how much you're charging for the products and services and how many customers you have, right? So those are your assumptions. Your assumption-based model is, what are the prices that I can charge? What's the unit economics? What's the price I can charge per each styling visit? And what's going to be the average order of the goods that I sell? And then how many customers do I get? And that's where the whole model is based on. You can fairly accurately estimate the expenses. And you can just put in any number at top, but the key thing to figure out is, how many customers am I really going to get in the door? How much am I really going to be able to charge for my products? What percentage revenue is going to come from the service side versus the product side? And that's something that an investor is going to push you on and prod you on. Well, why do you think that you're going to get 40 customers a day when similar businesses in the area are only going to get 20? Why do you think that you're going to get 75% of your sales in products and only 25% in labor? Because now you're saying that you have more margin in products than you do in labor, and you're giving yourself too much there. So those are your key assumptions. So again, you can take an Excel template and you can just plug all this in, and somebody can help you with that's fine. The key thing in the assumption-based model is, do you all see how we just got to the key assumptions in her business really quickly? What are the key assumptions? The key assumptions are how many customers you can get, what are the price of your products, and what's going to be the breakdown and mix of your labor to your retail. That's it. Those are the three key assumptions in your financial model. And the more accurate you are about those, the more accurate your financial model is going to be. The less accurate you are about those, the less accurate your financial model is going to be. And so somebody could put together a model for you. But if Nikki doesn't understand those basic assumptions that drive her business and drive her financial model for business plan, then when an investor starts pushing and prodding and asking questions, she's not going to be able to explain and defend why her business is going to get these financial results, which is he's going to say. Because ideally what you're going to say, right, is, okay, I need $100,000 up front. The business is going to gross in the first year $500,000. We're going to have $400,000 of expenses. I'm going to pay $100,000 back to the investors. You'll have paid yourself some nominal salary in that time. And then going into year 2, you're in the clear. You've paid back the investors. Now they're going to get a dividend. Hopefully in year 2, that business does $750,000 in revenue on $500,000 in expenses. Now you've got this reserve of capital of $250,000. You've paid yourself a bonus on top of your salary. You're just taking that money out. And we'll go into all the different kinds of company structures. And now you've got a business that's going. And your financial model gives you a snapshot of how to get there.